My name is Ndenga, a professional wheelchair tennis player. Apart from sports, I also work at Kenya Network of Women and Girls with Disability as project coordinator. The thing that surprised me the most in this entire world was how COVID was announced. You see the way you are in the office and then the president is mentioning like we are on quarantine. The word curfew. Those are the times I was like, curfew? I will not be going out, or I'll be nitawekwa kwa place moja tu for how long? The government just came, like they didn't consider that the whole country, we also have person with disabilities. For instance, even the elderly, like for instance, the way it was announced, it surprised everyone, but they didn't consider that in the whole population, Kenya population, we also have people that are supposed to be considered. Like for instance, they were announcing, let's say curfew, and they didn't consider their deaf people before this. I think we're talking of the way that we were surprised. They were announcing, the communication person is coming, announcing. We didn't even have a sign language interpreter in the first place. And that's when Person with Disability Fraternity came out to say, here, this government, do they know they have different people, or the vulnerable, do they even know, do they even consider person with disabilities? Let's take for instance me, when it was announced, when we started our conversation, I started by we're in the office and then we are told we are curfew, like you're going back home. And they're like, is my project safe? Is my job safe first? Like for instance, you are paid to work, and if you are told you're going to be under curfew, and then your employers also said they are restructuring what they're supposed to be doing while at home. So at first, my project, after a week or so, I was told now the donors have said we can't continue because I work in schools. My work was, the project was under sexual reproductive health, menstrual health hygiene. So we are working in schools, we are training children in sports, and then suddenly COVID was there. And then the COVID, when it was announced, now you know the schools has to close, and now your project has to stop. So you are going back home. So that was like, my project ended and I had no job. So when COVID was announced, there's no training and there's no access to any training facilities, or you can't go to gym, you can't do any your daily routines. Like me, for instance, you wake up, you have to go to gym, you have to make yourself like, you know, person's ability, you need physiotherapy. But me, sports is one part of therapy that I get. So I go train, I go wheel on that wheelchair, I train tennis, that makes me feel better and I feel my body is good. But immediately COVID came, everything stopped. So you can imagine the fatigue, you can imagine the muscles, even the polio. You just feel funny, your body, you are not in a good condition, even your health is affected. And psychologically now you are deteriorating psychologically, because you are confused, you don't even know where will I be, or what is next. You're confused, like how long will it even take? Even now, how you'll buy the food, even how you'll even engage, like, you know, person's ability, we like talking. Like when you share, with someone, you feel great when you share, when you talk, you meet your persons that you talk to. And when you're training also, you meet friends. Through these friends, you know, you're engaging differently, and the way many have problems, you share the problems, and the problem shared is half solved. So here you are, you will not share anything through calls. And where will you get that money to call someone? Even mingling with your family members, that is now, even you find it was so tough. Like if you live alone and the family members now sometimes they take advantage, like, now let's leave them alone. Like even interacting with them, it's something like they're doing for you a favor. But now when COVID came, it's like now they got advantage of even now neglecting you. Like, COVID ni curfew. Ni curfew imesemwa ni curfew. So you know, people took advantage of that. Like they can't even check on their person, their sister, their brothers who are with disabilities. Like even phone calls, people had excuses like, hakuna hata pesa ya kupiga, you know, hakuna hata mtu you can come and drop for you food at the door. Like, I will not see you, but I will drop the food for you. And even one of us died. I remember, because he had an underlying condition, and you know the sports now then. I mean sports, I know how sports sports people we are. And then the money you saved, you ran out of the money saved. So now he had this underlying condition whereby now he had to have treatment, he has to go to the hospital, but now he couldn't get that. He couldn't access medical care. So he died. A family man who had children and the wife was pregnant. And he died, and we went to bury after like a long time because we were waiting for curfew to be lifted. But the best thing I saw with the Minister of Health, they really organize it in a way that if you're a person with disability, you're given a priority. There's some things that has negative, but this one I saw a positive in it. You come, already they register you, they rush you, the way they panga it. You come and they know you're a person with disability, you're given a first priority, and then you will finish even if you get how many people in the line. They'll call you where you are. Immediately you come in, they'll call you, they write your name, they walk with you through that desk, and then you get vaccinated, and that's it. They tell you sit down, you wait for this few minutes, and then you leave. And every person with disability are treated that way that are in sports. So, but now coming out, like these are sportsmen and women given first priority, but now coming out of the community now, there are so many persons with disability who are not vaccinated, because reason being, number one, they didn't get that privilege that I had, because now these were in sport, at least you have that opportunity to take yourself to Kasarani Stadium to get vaccinated. But this is now people who are like, how will we get it? Now they're asking them, even they don't even have that money to go, but then they were like, if you have to be vaccinated, it's 5,000 or 10,000 Kenya shilling, right? Then, before it became like a free thing. So everyone was like, we are not getting it. If death comes, we'll appreciate that came, and we went.